Hey everybody, Kelly Engineer here, and welcome to episode 28 of Journey Across the Void. In between episodes, I made some portal guns. So I did a massive amount of testing, and no block in this pack capable of teleporting will teleport you. Anything that is rod-based or staff-based or portal gun-based will still allow you to teleport, but unfortunately nothing block-based. So I cannot use telepads. It explains why I couldn't do the portals from Ender Utilities, so those won't work in this pack. The travel anchors from Ender IO also do not work. The only thing that works for teleporting are portal guns, and the teleportation rod that I've been using right here from Cyclic, that still works. It's really weird, and I cannot figure out for the life of me what's causing it. I asked the pack maker if there was anything that he purposely put in here just to, check all of my bases, and he has no idea what would be stopping teleporting, but that is the case in this pack. So yeah, I have the portal guns. I'm actually going to make another one because I need a third one, and it is made with this miniature black hole. Miniature black holes are pretty easy to make. You just need ender pearl dust. So I went over it last episode when I was making the quantum entangled singularities, but this ender pearl dust is capable of making the quantum entangled singularities despite not being from applied energistics. This ender pearl dust, however, in order to make the miniature black holes, does not, and you can only get this from smelting ender pearls. It's kind of weird. So yeah, see, smelting the ender pearls will make the ender pearl dust that I need in order to make the miniature black holes for the portal gun. And this ender pearl dust will not work for that. So yeah, I'm going to make a new portal gun. You see it's called a newly crafted portal gun. The second I create it, it will be keyed specifically to me. It also has a channel number, so all of my portal guns have different channel numbers. It also assigns a random color to it, so this one is going to be orange-blue. This one is that, I guess I want to call it seafoam green. And this one is also orange-blue, but it's also a different orange. It's like a lighter orange and a lighter blue than this one is. So yeah, I'm going to go into the network room next. And this is my network room. I tried a couple of things and it didn't really work the way that I wanted it to. So over here, I was going to have nothing but black hole units, and all of the network bridges were going to connect and export everything from its respective network into the black hole units, but it wasn't working the way that I wanted it to. I mean, it was working, just not the way that I wanted it to. So yeah, this is what I have right now. I can access every single one of my ME systems from here, and all of the items are in this ME system. However, if I go to, let's see, the Ender IO area, you'll see that I have 213,000 iron ingots. But over in the network room, I had 500,000. And that's because this one had this black hole unit, this Ender IO system, is the one that has the 212,000. And then once you go to the network room, they're all combined into one massive network. So this is working as intended. I'm very happy with it, and I can't wait to expand it out. I have 5 of them here because one of them actually connects to the main system now. And that means that I can access all of the standard blocks. Like, yeah, so this endstone right here, this endstone is being created by the Ender IO, by the Ender IO setup, and it's also being created from my void miner. So I have all of it combined over here. And it's just great to have all of my ME systems connected all in one place. So Uber, if you're watching this, you and I had the same exact thought at the same exact time, apparently. The second that your comment came in saying that I should make everything a subnetwork was the moment where I was in the process of making everything a subnetwork. So I have an ME interface connected to my Ender IO ME system, and then a storage bus going to the network room. All of my ME systems are now hooked up this way, and allows me to access all of the items that are native to each specific ME system, and then in the network room allow me to see everything else. I could have reversed it if I wanted to, but for the purposes of what I wanted, this is the way that makes sense. And I know that I have 2 things on the side here, this quartz fiber going into this storage bus, providing power to the storage bus so it actually works as intended. That's because power was working a little weird. Now, it makes sense looking back because this dense energy cell is powering a lot of things, and sometimes power just wasn't making it to my quantum ring, and the quantum ring wasn't powered. Because of that, it was making it so I couldn't actually transfer power to this storage bus either. It was same as before. It would like light up, and then it would think that there was no power around, and it would just immediately power down. And no matter what I did, it just wasn't working. So this is a This is a leftover from trying to troubleshoot that. I just ended up putting in more power closer to the ring, and I have had no problems since then. Also, Inspire had a comment on episode 26 about the fact that the Material Stonework Factory is capable of making me glass. So all I have to do is just, like, right here is making sand for me. I could make this. Let's put this in furnace mode, start it back up again. It is making glass for me. The way that I have it right now is I have sand being made here, and then it's going into the alloy smelter to make me glass that way. Now, the reason I know that it doesn't make sense to do it this way, since I have a more efficient option right here. However, it wouldn't have made sense to only have one block here, 2 blocks here, and then, like, I have the 4 on top, making it, like, you know, making it symmetrical. So yes, I could have absolutely done it this way and made glass this way. I didn't do it because I wanted to maintain the symmetry of the system. So Inspire, thank you very much. It actually, you making that comment, I had this specific setup in mind, knowing that I could make glass this way, but I also did mess up a little bit over here. Oh, let's start that back up. I did mess up over here because I had a Material Stonework Factory making me sand, and then going into a sag mill to make me silicone. But the Material Stonework Factory can make silicone, so that's how I'm making it now. So Inspire, even though I had this the way that I wanted it to, you did remind me that I did have a more efficient way that I could have been making my silicone, and that's this way right here. So thank you very much. The last major thing that I did in between episodes was I redid the ore processing room. So I no longer have the quantum storage units as my, holding cells for all of the items. They're now black hole units. This was not really the intention. I didn't want to replace these. However, when I set up the massive wall inside the network room, I actually transferred everything from the quantum storage units to black hole units. And when I found out that it wasn't working as intended or as how I wanted it to, I just moved everything back here and then used storage buses to hook everything into this ME system. And then it is all going to the network room here. So other than that, nothing has really changed, and I tried making cable facades made of quartz glass to try to, cover this up or make it look good. And yeah, quartz glass cable facades do not look good. Pardon me, they do not look good. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out a nice block. I may just use the 1286 or I may use 1284. I'm not sure yet. I'm still sussing things out. I also made a painting machine, and let's get rid of you. And I made some conduit facades. I learned something about the conduit facades I'm not really happy with. That does not look like light gray porcelain. Oh, I may have the same problem I had with the... Alright, cool, we're fine. But yeah, with this, with the conduit facades, I learned that I cannot actually... Let's get my backpack back out here. My dynamic edge lights do not work on them. So you see, they don't actually, mesh. They don't see this as a solid block in order to, look proper along a wall. I did not have that problem with cable facades. However, conduit facades definitely do have that problem. I may have to completely redo these crafters right here so that they look proper, because I don't like having this bald spot in the middle of my wall because I can't place my dynamic lights. Anyway, I just made these conduit facades because we're going to be working in this room for the bulk of this episode. I am going to be doing a... Cover this up real quick. There we go. I am going to be doing a quest that it took a while, and it's actually the quest that crashed my world last week. So, where are you? Here we go. We're going to be making all of this alcohol right here. And it is all going to be housed on this floor. I have already called this floor Kellebrew because, I don't know, I wanted a fun, fancy name for where I'm going to be making all of my alcohol, and Kellebrew seemed to fit. But without any further ado, let's get to it. Alright, so what I am doing right now is I am creating a whole bunch of XNet cables, and I've already made advanced blue connectors. I'm actually going to turn these into red connectors very quickly. Actually, we're going to turn 32 of them into advanced red connectors. I'm also going to turn these cables into red cables. The reason... Oh no, I'm out of red dye already. That's perfectly fine. Basically, what we're going to be doing is we are going to be making a massive XNet network in order to link all of our distillers together. I'm going to have a total of 54 of them. That's going to be 3 for each of the liquors. There are a total of 18 of them. So I already have the distillers made. I made the storage scanner. I needed the controller. There we go. 2 controllers. We have the red cable, we have the blue cable, and I don't need the storage scanner right now, I don't think. But I'm going to go hook this up in our little brewery area, which is right here. You can see I've already started setting up the walls for it. And yeah, each one of these is going to have everything necessary in order to make each of the liquors. So it's going to be its own like self-contained room. And then over here is where it's all going to be controlled. So the XNet scanner, the XNet controller, all power and water and glass fabrication is going to be in this area. And then it's all going to flow in all the way over here into each of the brewery areas. Alright, so XNet. I'm going to try to explain this as best as I can because it can get a little confusing. Looking at this controller, it is incredibly confusing. So what I have is I have my advanced blue connector, and I'm going to attach it here, and then I'm going to attach 2 more connectors to these ultimate energy cubes I have. And then we'll just attach a network cable in between. So now if I look inside the controller, it's going to see those 2 energy cubes, and I am going to actually name this Blue 1 and Blue 2. And you see over here, they're now actually labeled as Blue 1 and Blue 2. So in order to actually connect these into the network, I actually have to change what the channel is. So I have a total of 8 channels that I can work with, and if I go over to Net Energy, which was the original, I can create, and you see now I have a channel. I'm going to uncheck this because this is actually having it enabled. I don't want it enabled yet until it's actually set up. And then I can choose down here the areas that I want. So I just clicked right here, and now I'm going to create. And it has a whole bunch of settings that I can change. I want this energy cube to extract, and I want this energy cube to also extract. What I'm going to do is later on, I'm going to have a whole bunch of plant interactors on the inside of here, and these plant interactors are going to be powered from this XNet console. What's going to happen is once I have them connected to the network, they will show right here, and I can move them to channel 1 and have them insert power from these cubes. Now the reason why I made 2 different types of cables is because if I try to connect, should probably get the controllers as well. If I try to connect a red cable to the network, you'll see that it does not show up. Right now, this controller is specifically a blue network. If I remove this controller from here, then it now knows that the red is taking priority. And then if I try to attach the blue once more, red still has the priority. Whatever controller is connected first is going to be the controller that has priority on the network. So I'm going to have this same exact setup mimicked on this side as well, since I have 2 different sides. The reason why I did this is because I wasn't sure, considering the amount of items that are going to be in each line on each side, whether or not they would all fit in one controller or whether or not it was feasible. Because I'm going to have a lot. The reason why I made so much water is because I'm going to need a lot of water for this setup. I'm also going to need a lot of power. I just wanted to split the load a little bit, so I'm going to have it on 2 different networks. So now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to... Wow, my pickaxe is just way too fast for this porcelain. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set up each of the setups over here, and I'm actually going to have it distilling the very first thing, which is beach rum. And after I have everything set up for the beach rum, I'm going to close out the episode. I just want to show you how this system is working, and then I'm going to go ahead and set up everything else. So this is Mark 1 of my entire setup. What I have are 2 plant gatherers collecting a whole bunch of sugarcane, and they're sending it to this sequential fabricator. The sequential fabricator is taking the sugarcane and whatever is required by this recipe, and because I've inserted a fluidic fabrication augment in here, then that means that it will also accept water, and I can add it to the recipe. But it is making the prepared beach rum mix. From there, it goes into my distillers, and once I start adding glass bottles, it will make me my beach rum. So the beach rum is then going to be exported from here, and it will go into this chest, And from this chest, it will go into this task screen. So this task screen is actually linked to this quest right here. So I have 190 out of 20,000 beach rum created and submitted for this quest. Now this is not perfect, mainly because the glass bottles do not, if there wasn't any prepared beach rum mix right here, then that means the glass bottles, as they start to be inserted, will also be inserted here. Also, this is new. It's not taking the beach rum from the outer slot. I am not sure what would be causing that. It should all be exporting. Over here in my controller, I have... Yep, exporting. Single. See if random works. Nope, random is not working. I am not sure why it's not taking from the outer slot. Regardless, this is not perfect because if I've run out of prepared beach rum mix, which hopefully I won't, because I'm not auto-making wood right now, I'm actually going to make some nature essence. Correction, wood essence, because wood essence is, it'll make me wood. So I'm probably going to replace this sugarcane right here with some wood essence, and then that will be collected by the plant gatherer, crafted up in... Oh, never mind. I would have to make another sequential fabricator to make me the wood necessary for that. So all in all, I do still have my work cut out for me, and like I said, this is the Mark 1 of this. The setup that I had before was actually far less complicated than this, but also far less streamlined. So the way that I have it, the way that I have it right now is actually just pretty much one line going all the way over to the controller over here, and the controller does have all of its inputs and exports set up the way that they're supposed to, complete with filters divvied out, so the glass bottles and the prepared beach rum mix will go into the distillers as they're supposed to. And yeah, I just need to figure out why, number one, the second slot of beach rum is not being exported, and number two, how to make sure that only the prepared beach rum goes into that upper slot. Also, the way that I am making the bottles is right here. So I have a material stonework factory that is making me glass. The glass is going straight into this crafter. And from the crafter, it will just export via this connection right here into the distillers. So I'm going to go work on Mark II real quick and try to figure out a way to make this a little bit better, because even if I do cover this up with, where are they? These facades from XNet, and the way that these work is all I have to do is just shift click on a block and it will mimic that block. And from there, all I have to do is click on the cable itself and it will hide that connection. Whenever I'm holding the facades, it will show me what else is being hidden. So that is also good. But yeah, with this, particularly this connection right here sticking out, I don't like it. It doesn't look good, so I need to figure out something to do with that. So I've been at this for a while, and I cannot figure out for the life of me why it keeps trying to fill in those bottles. So I tried over here in the max amount destination inventory. What I can do is I can actually designate how many items I want to go into each particular slot. So I want, let's just say 64. That means that I want 64 glass bottles and 64 prepared beach rum mix to go into this slot onto the distiller. So I can change that to 64 for everything. However, for some odd reason, whenever I change this number, it actually changes how the attitude of this. So you see that it's working right now. However, once this beach rum gets made, this bottle will refuse to fill up. Now I'm going to go change it to 128 because, yeah, it was on 64. So let's change it back to 128. We'll change all of them to 128. Alright, all of them are at 128. Channel is now enabled. However, no new bottles are going in. It's like it's not I told it to only accept 128 glass bottles and then stop. It's not doing that. It's not even filling any glass bottles in anymore. So yeah, I am not sure what is going on, and it may be that I have the channel set up improperly. So maybe I should have, so right now, I have bottles extracting from this crafter, and I have beach rum mix extracting from this crafter. Maybe I should have them on its own channel. So the beach rum could be on here, and the bottles remain on here and that would solve the problem. But like I said, I am not really sure. So I have a little bit more experimentation to do. Oh, here we go, a little freeze. Yeah, I have a little bit of experimentation to do. Yeah, see, bottles are still filling in here. Actually, I don't think I removed the bottles from there. Yeah, I need to experiment a little bit more to figure out my whole bottle situation, because eventually I will prepare enough beach rum mix. What the heck? Why isn't it extracting from here? Oh yeah, that's another thing. So it's not extracting the prepared beach rum mix either, despite the fact that it should allow a maximum of 128. So yeah, the prepared beach rum mix isn't filling up now either. This is very weird, and I may actually switch to Ender IO conduits just to... Yeah, I'll have everything connected via XNet like it's supposed to transfer the power and the water, but I think as far as inside each individual room, I'm going to go Ender IO conduits or thermal conduits, just for ease of access, because this is getting ridiculous. Actually, even then that wouldn't work, because if I was inserting the bottles are on a standalone system. And also the thermal conduits, once it sees the 128 glass bottles, it'll just try to fill it in wherever it can. I am not sure how I'm going to solve this, but I'm going to work on it in between episodes. So yeah, I am Kelly Engineering, and I hope that you did enjoy this episode, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.